Dear students, we are in income tax class. Till now, we have discussed various topics in income tax. In the previous class, we have discussed about these 5 heads of income. That is, income from salaries, income from house property, income from or profits and gains of business or profession, income from capital gains, or income from other sources. These are the 5 heads of income under Income Tax Act. That is what I mentioned. I asked all of you to know about them. Okay. Once if we see the syllabus, we have discussed all these topics till now. Direct and indirect taxes, canons of taxation, history and features of income tax in India, definitions and basic concepts of income tax, that is SSC, deemed SSC, assessee in default. We came to know about assessment year, previous year. We have discussed about person. What is agricultural income? What are the 3 conditions for any income to be deemed as agricultural income? We have discussed that topic also. And the heads of income, we are discussing now. In the previous class, I mentioned 5 heads of income will be there. Income from salaries, income from house property, income from business or profession, income from capital gains, and income from other sources. So we will discuss about the remaining topics in the present class as well as in the subsequent classes. Okay. Now, what is income? Income means any monetary return. Generally, okay, monetary return means by way of money, whatever we receive, that is income for us. By way of money, whatever we receive, that is income for us. Monetary return. Return in the form of money. Whenever we receive anything from others, that is income. See, suppose I will ask you one question. Anybody can answer. I am supplying drugs. And I have earned 1 crore rupees during last year. Because illegally, I sold drugs to others. Illegal drugs, brown sugar or whatever it may be, or other, those kinds of things I have sold and I have earned 1 crore rupees. Am I supposed to pay tax to the income tax department? Because I have sold brown sugar. Shall I pay, or it is illegal business now? Will I be exempted from tax? Very good. We have to pay tax, whether it is legal business or illegal business. Income Tax Act does not distinguish between legal business or illegal business. Any kind of business, any kind of income, if we earn, means we have to pay income tax. Regarding the legality of or illegality, the police department will take care, the courts will take care, the judiciary in the country will take care of it. Okay, we have to pay tax irrespective of the business legality or illegality. Okay, as you all know, a business organizations or an individual's previous year's income is liable to be taxed in the subsequent year, that is assessment year. 2018-19 period's income you received, and on this income you have to pay tax in the next year, that is 2019-20. Okay, this is known as assessment year, whereas the earlier year is known as previous year. Okay, then see you know these points. A financial year begins with April 1st and it ends on next year's 31st March. Okay, so income, see, a person's gross total income will be arrived at after adding all these 5 heads of income. gross total income means the total income under all these 5 heads combined together will give you GTI, gross total income. Okay, income from salaries, income from house property, profits and gains of business or profession, capital gains, income from other sources. These 5 heads together will be added. That is known as gross total income. Okay, that is what you mean by saying gross total income. Coming to next. See, this is how you are going to calculate total income. See, total income is different from gross total income. Please remember, total income is also known as taxable income. How it is calculated, I am showing you. Please see here. See, first head we all know it is income from salaries. Whatever amount that we received under the head income from salaries, you are going to take here, and some deductions are allowed on these income from salaries under U by S. You have to pronounce as, you have to read it as under section. So under section 16, certain deductions will be there. From this total income of salaries, you will deduct that amount, and net amount you are going to write here. Similarly, income from house property, this is second head. First head is income from salaries. Second head is income from house property. The whatever you received as rent, you are going to show it here. And from that one, you will reduce, you will deduct. Certain deductions are available under section 24. Those deductions you will reduce, you will deduct, and net amount you are going to write here. Are you able to understand? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now third head. So that is why these 5 heads you have to remember. 5 heads income you are going to add, and under each head certain deductions are allowable. Those deductions you will allow, and the net amount you are going to show in the outer column. This is inner column, this is outer column. Next one, income from or profits and gains of business and profession. See, net profit as per P&L account means profit and loss account. So the net profit you are going to show here. Some disallowed expenses will be there. Some income tax department will not allow. Those deductions you will disallow, you will add back to the profit. And the new amount will be arrived at. To that amount, what you are going to do is, you are going to deduct incomes from other heads. See, mistakenly income from house property has added here. What you have to do? You have to deduct that income, because that you have to show under only income from house property. So that is why, by mistakenly, if you have added any heads of income which belong to other heads, any other incomes which fall under other heads, you are going to deduct. Okay, the net amount you are going to show in the outer column. Okay, now next fourth head is income from capital gains. Income from capital gains, gross amount you will show here. For this also exemptions are there under section 54, 54B, 54D. Likewise, several exemptions are there. Those exemptions you will allow, and net amount you will show in the outer column. Okay. Next one, see, income from other sources. See, different incomes will be there. In the previous class, I mentioned income from the lottery winning, horse races winning. That gross amount we will show here, and certain deductions under 57 are allowed. Those deductions you will deduct, and net amount you will show in the outer column. So if you add all those incomes, it is your GTI, means gross total income. From this gross total income, various other deductions are available. Means let us take, you all know, Life Insurance Corporation, the LIC policy you have taken. Whatever premium every year that you are paying, that is allowed as deduction. So those kinds of several deductions are available. So those deductions will be allowed from section 80C to 80U. Those deductions you will deduct from gross total income and your net income will be here. This is known as total income. So gross total income is different and net income or total income or total taxable income is different. Gross total income is different from total income or taxable income. See, 5 heads income you will add, and from that one you will deduct a certain amount. Those are deductions under section 80C to 80U. You will deduct, and the net amount you are going to show as total income or taxable income. When we do problems, you will be able to understand it clearly. This is for even basic understanding. Because see, once you see the syllabus, I am showing you the syllabus. See, here you can see gross total income, heads of income, gross total income, and total income. So gross total income means adding all the incomes under 5 heads of income. And from that one, from section 80C to 80U, you are going to allow certain deductions. If you deduct that amount, your total income will come. So that is what you mean by saying gross total income and total income. Is it clear, or is there any doubt for you? Yes, please. Is there any doubt?
Clear.
Is there any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Yes means there is a doubt. No means there is no doubt. Yes means there is a doubt, it means. No means there is.
Sir, we can't able to see, sir.
You are unable to?
We can't able to see the syllabus, sir. It's going to be blur.
I am unable to understand your. Is the
Sir,
screen not visible?
I can't able to. Yes, sir. Screen is not visible.
It is not visible.
I can't see the syllabus. Yes, sir.
Not this one. Okay. Just a minute. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Right. Now you see our next topic is incomes exempt from tax. See, certain incomes are there which are not taxable. Even if you receive lakhs of rupees, it is not taxable. Under section 10, those exemptions are given, are mentioned. In our previous classes, we have seen one exemption, that is agricultural income, that is exempted. Okay, similarly, certain incomes are there which are not going to attract tax, income tax. See, for your easy understanding, I will mention one simple example. You are every year you are receiving scholarship, no? Are you paying any tax on that income? No, you will not pay any income tax. Even though it is income for you, you are not going to pay any tax. Similarly, those persons who receive Bharat Ratna or Padma Vibhushan or Padma Bhushan or Paramveer Chakra, they under the award they will receive certain money, certain amount as gift from the government. That is also tax exempt. The allowances of MLAs, MPs, those allowances are also tax exempt. Okay. Similarly, several other incomes are there which are not taxable according to Income Tax Act. Certain exemptions are there as per Income Tax Act. See, several are there. Only 21 I showed that they are enough for you. See, 21 exemptions I mentioned. Several other exemptions are also there. They are, you need not bother about them. Okay, out of these 21, at least you should remember 15. Okay, see, again, income tax exemption is allowed to, certain incomes are allowed as exemption to, separately they are available to individuals. Certain exemptions are there to certain institutions and authorities. Certain exemptions are there. Okay. Similarly, to non-citizens, means those who do not belong to our country, for them also separate exemptions are there. Okay. For your understanding, as per our syllabus, we have to discuss. So we will discuss according to our syllabus. Only individuals exempted incomes is enough for you. The topic of exempted incomes to individuals is enough for you. Remaining to certain institutions and authorities, to non-citizens, whatever exempted incomes are there, we need not discuss as per our syllabus. Okay. See, roughly I am reading. If you have any doubt, you can raise. See, received by a member of Hindu undivided family. Whatever income that is received by a member of Hindu undivided family from his family income source, whatever he received from Karta, you all know, must have studied Hindu undivided family. Okay, Karta is going to maintain the affairs in a Hindu undivided family. So Karta will distribute income to various family members. So whatever income that is received by a family member of HUF, it is not taxable. Similarly, casual and non-recurring receipts, they are also not taxable. For example, gifts received on the occasion of marriage day or birthday, they are not taxable. Okay. Travel concession to employees, that is not taxable. Allowances given and perquisite. See, this is a new word, perquisite. What do you mean by perquisite? In the subsequent chapters, we will come to know about it. Perquisites provided to government employees is not taxable, provided they are posted abroad. Means they are working in foreign country. Government employees who are working in foreign countries, whatever allowances they receive, whatever perquisites that they receive, that is not taxable. Okay. Remuneration and foreign income of an individual working under cooperative technical assistance program, this is also not taxable. Okay. Similarly, payment received by an employee of state government or central government and organized sector on voluntary retirement is exempt up to 5 lakh rupees. See, various government organizations are introducing voluntary retirement schemes. So under that scheme, whatever payment is received, it is tax exempted up to 5 lakh rupees. Payment from statutory provident fund. See, what is provident fund? In the subsequent classes, we will learn. You must have heard about GPF. I hope you have come across this word. So whatever amount that is received from provident fund, that is from statutory provident fund, is tax exempted. Okay. Then payments received from recognized provident fund, payments from superannuation fund. Superannuation means retirement. Superannuation is another word for retirement. So whenever a person retires from his retirement fund, whatever he received payment, that is tax exempt. Scholarships received by students, that is tax exempt. MP, MLA, MLC's allowances, that is tax exempt. Awards received from literary, scientific work or proficiency from central government, that is tax exempt, or from state government, that is also tax exempted. Any income received by a person from the following funds: Prime Minister's National Relief Fund, Prime Minister's Fund, Prime Minister's Aid to Students Fund. So all these are tax exempt. Okay. Okay, you can ask at the last your doubts. Okay. Annual value of one palace for the former rulers or princes. Interest received on securities which are exempt from tax. Securities means, please remember, securities implies shares or debentures or bonds. Agricultural income, compensation received by victims of Bhopal gas tragedy. See, Where is Bhopal situated? In which state Bhopal is situated? Yes, in which state Bhopal is there? Yes, dear students, are you there listening to my class or not? Disappeared. Where
Gujarat,
is
sir.
Madhya Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, sir.
Very good.
Pradesh.
Madhya Pradesh. Very good. So in Madhya Pradesh in 1984, gas leaked in a gas plant. That is known as several people died. At present also, as a consequence of that leakage, several people became impaired physically and mentally. So certain compensation they received after the Bhopal gas tragedy. So whatever the amount that they received, that is tax exempt. Please remember. Income of a minor is tax exempt. Okay, up to 1500. The whatever income that is a minor's income above 1500 will be taxable under guardians. Guardian means it may be parents or other persons who are taking care of them. Okay, compensation on retrenchment received by a private sector employee means when private sector organization closed its operations or a person is removed from the service. In certain cases, whatever compensation that a person receives, that is tax exempt. Similarly, these 2 points are related to life insurance policy when it gets mature. Whatever amount that a person receives from life insurance organization, it may be life insurance corporation or private life insurance company. Whatever amount that he receives at the end of the policy term, that is fully tax exempt. So these are the tax exemptions provided to assessees in our country. Several others are also there, but for our understanding, this many are enough. Thank you very much, dear students, dear friends.